CCBI was created it was 77 years ago by the North Carolina General Assembly. And our mission and goals today are to provide a high level of forensic services to all the law enforcement agencies in Wake County, which include fingerprints, drug analysis, blood alcohol analysis, and also to provide assistance at crime scene investigation at the request of the law enforcement agency.
It takes a certain breed of person to sit at a desk all day long and compare what equates to little black squiggly lines.
Up until about 2007, CCBI relied upon the state fingerprint system. They're commonly called AFIS, Automated Fingerprint Identification Systems. We then purchased our own AFIS system. Once we had our own AFIS system, everyone was able to work at the same time. We then implemented a policy that, following the guidelines of the law, that we would fingerprint and photograph everyone that was arrested every time they were arrested in Wake County. I like to refer to the AFIS system as an electronic detective. It sort of points you in a direction that you might want to, look at. It provides a lead.
This actually is a list of candidates that could be identified back to this. So that basically the computer has stated, based on this known here, these different cases could in fact match this. And it's up to the examiner to open up every single list, so just like so, and then perform the comparison. This is an example of a known impression here that was obtained at time of arrest. This is a fingerprint. This is actually the latent impression, or the unknown, the question impression that was lifted and collected from the crime scene. So in this particular instance, this is what's called a reverse hit. So this latent impression actually has been in the database since August of 2014. So it was entered into the database. It did not hit, but it does not go away. It remains in what's known as an unsolved latent cognizant queue. So it's a file that anytime anyone is arrested after this is entered, those known standards that are taken at time of arrest are then searched against this questioned database. And that's what's occurred here. So this impression was actually put in during the summer, and this individual here was actually arrested 2 days ago. So in this particular instance, it's pulled up, and the examiner has the ability to enlarge the image. And then they actually would work their way through the entire image, comparing the level 1 detail, which, as you can see here, is the shape, it's the structure, it's the ridge flow. And then actually they would zoom in and begin to compare what's known as the level 2 detail, or the points of identification, or the Galton detail. And what you can see, these are these ending ridges there, short or ridges or dots, or bifurcation, which are just forks in the road. So the examiner is comparing these individual points of identification, their relationship to one another, and also, if you can look here, their relationship to the level 1 structure of the image. So here's an example of an ending ridge, and you can see the structure here. It recurves at the bottom of this. Here's the ending ridge, and again, this is the question impression, or the one from the crime scene. There's the recurve there, so you can see that there's correspondence between the latent, or the unknown, and the known impression. So the examiner would compare everything that they have available to them, and it's at that point that they would render an opinion whether it's an identification or a non-identification.
It still takes that human eye to make that final determination that yes, this print could have originated from the same source or is identical, the terminology that you want to use. And then of course that is verified by another expert, and then a report is written and issued to the law enforcement agencies.
The beauty of CCBI is the objective, how we maintain an objective stance. And what I mean by that is we have no idea the relationship of this person to this scene. Frankly, we don't care. We provide that information to the law enforcement community, and it's the investigators that then follow that up. We would write the report, and we move on to the next case.
And it works too, that it just goes beyond trying to identify just the person who may have committed the crime, but we identify people who are at scenes that when we tell the officer we've identified a particular person at this scene, at this location in the scene, that person then could become a critical witness. Over 60% of the crime scenes that we've gone to this year, we've been able to collect finger and palm print evidence. And of that, we've been able to identify, 42% of the time, we've been able to identify someone at the scene.
When I started with CCBI in 2002, we had only one APHIS database, one search station, and 3 examiners had to share it. But with this, now we have 8 or 7 of these stations in all 7 examiners' offices. So they're not competing for this resource. They have it at their fingertips every day, all day long. And it allows them to really manage their work in the most effective and efficient way for the examiners. They just don't compete for this very finite resource.
Well, I believe we can increase the number of subjects that we're identifying at crime scenes. I think we've still not reached our full potential of that. We've seen more than quadruple that number in the past 9 years, and I think we still have, we've not reached our full potential.